Cheers!
Cheers!
Hey guys.
Hey guys, we're back again. This is West Atlanta Bourbon Society. We're back with another host. We've got a good one for you today again. So right before Christmas, we came back and we went over to LeNells Beverage Boutique over in Birmingham, Alabama. If you know anything about LeNell used to have a store in Brooklyn. Hence the LeNells famous Red Hook Rye, the 23-year rye she had. She got a single barrel from Willett. It was a Red Hook Rye. It sells now for like $50,000. Look it up, Google it. It's called LeNells Red Hook Rye. You type it in, you'll see it anywhere. So she, for her 48th birthday, was invited up by Drew Coldenstein, the master distiller at Willett, and he said, here's a whiskey thief. Here's a cup, have at it. Pick whatever you want out of my distillery. So she went through all the warehouses, tasted a bunch of different stuff, and she wound up picking 2 barrels instead of 1. And this is one of the barrels that she picked. So as she was walking around the distillery with her glass, she had found this 7-year Willett that she wanted to call 7-year-old cask strength Willett that she found that she just kept on testing everything next to it and tasting it next to it, and she just loved it so much. Well, when she finally found the 15-year barrel that she was going to pick, Mr. Drew Coldenstein said, well, why don't you just take them both? You love that 7-year, you've been walking around with it, you like it more than the 15-year, so just go ahead and take it with you. So she took both barrels, and this is the 7-year barrel. This is bottle number 126 of 202. There was 202 bottles made. I think there was only 100 and something sold though, because of course she kept a couple cases, gave a case to her distributor, so there wasn't that many sold. But I was one of the lucky few to get up there at 9 a.m. in the morning and hang out until she opened, which she was nice enough to let us inside, so we went out in the cold. She said, we ain't playing that pappy shit sitting out in the cold. She's real cool. And we went into her store, and at 12 o'clock she sold some bottles at hefty price of $660, $700 for this 7-year Willett, and then about a $1,760 price tag on the 15-year. She also left with it this little piece of paper. I don't know if you can see it real well. There you go. It's the same paper almost that was with the 23-year Red Hook Rye. On the back it tells you how to drink your whiskey, how to add a little bit of water, the same stuff we always do. Gives a couple drink recipes if you want to make a mixer out of it. But this one is called the 7-year Light Side of the Moon. So it's Light Side of the Moon. And if you know anything about, LeNells picks, like I said, they're unicorns. Look up Red Hook Rye, it's a unicorn. So I was so glad that she gave me a bottle. And I promised her that if she sold me this bottle, that it would be popped open and we'd be drinking it on YouTube. So LeNells, shout out to you. Please watch this. We did pop it and we are drinking it. So I just want you to know that it didn't get sold on the black market or gray market, whatever the heck you call it. She is also real good friends with Drew's sister, Britt Coldenstein, and they're like a sisterhood, and they kind of hang out together, and that's how they came up with this issue of the light side and dark side of the moon. Basically, whenever you're having problems, there's a light side and dark side of the moon, and she was talking about yoga poses. I'll go more into depth in that in another time. I just don't want to get 15 minutes in trying to read this whole narrative to you, and then you tuned out when it gets time to drink the whiskey. So.
Well, what we could do is we could upload a picture of it,
yes,
of it so we can save some
Right, we'll
time
upload
to
a picture
talk
on our
about
Facebook, and
tasting.
soon Instagram will be out, because this man right here is going to hook up the Instagram. So when we get that, we'll send out a picture of it so you can kind of read it on your own. That way we're not wasting your time. But this is a nice picture of the bottles. Miss LeNells signed it in like a gold bronzy writing. I don't know if you can see that at the top there. It is a Family Estate single barrel bourbon selection. It is 7 years old, hand bottled. It's barrel number 5457. It is barreled at 118.2 proof. So 118.2, barrel number 5457, 7-year rare release of straight bourbon whiskey, and it only went to Miss LeNells. So it was straight her pick, her barrel pick. Again, it's bottle number 126 of 202 bottles only. So it's very, 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 very limited right there. We can slide that back over. So everybody's got their cups. As we say say first we're gonna try it, smell it, and try it neat, and then we'll add a little water, see if what that does to it, if it messes it up or not. But we'll add a little water to it. So cheers, everybody. Let's take a smell and talk about the smell. What are you getting from smell, guys?
What you getting, Keith?
I smell a tad bit of almonds in it, just a tad bit.
Tad bit of almonds. I get like a little bit of cream, like like ice cream.
It does have a creamsicle note to it. Definitely.
I also get like a red raspberry or a red cherry. I don't know if you're getting that.
Definitely fruit.
To me, it's more
Definitely,
sugar.
yeah, cherry.
To me,
Yeah,
it's
I'm getting
more
like a
sugar.
cream honey.
a cream honey.
Yeah.
That's a good explanation of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cream honey. I mean, I kind of get the different gist that the gentlemen are naming.
Apricot. Yeah, apricot too.
Yeah, apricot's a very light one, so I would probably say it's somewhere in that playing field.
Now, just to show you guys right here, I'm gonna put this up, and if you put your cup in front of it, you can kind of see the color. The color is a real deep amber, almost a brown color. It's for a 7-year whiskey, it's pretty dark.
Very dark.
Yeah, pretty dark for a 7-year whiskey.
Or you can just hold it up to my skin tone. You can kind of see it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's almost all white.
You see how it's got the color right there?
Shout out to LeNells. By the way, LeNells said thank you for having members that are females and of different diversities.
Hey.
Yeah, she's so tired of seeing old white people on Bourbon.
Yeah, you're kind of tired of Kevins around town. Much love to all the Kevins out there. Mwah. But yes, the smell I'm getting like a creamy honey, but it's good for the tasting.
Okay, let's go for the taste.
Right off the top, it's very indicative of a 7-year bourbon. Has a little bit of burn, but it's not overly hot. There's still some smoothness and refinement to it. It has a very, very familiar taste that I can't necessarily place.
I can.
But it tastes like something I drink a lot. There's definitely some
That's
cherry.
That's cherry all day, yeah.
So it's no secret. Willett says that they do source their bourbon. They only started their original bourbon in 2012. So right now their bourbon would only be 6 years old. This being a 7-year bourbon, obviously it's a sourced bourbon. Everybody surmises that it's sourced from a distillery next door, which would be Heaven Hill, is next door to them. You can almost walk between Heaven Hill and Willett. If you've ever been on the Bourbon Trail and ever done any of those running around to the different distilleries and distillery tours, it's real close to each other.
Mm-hmm. Well worth a
It's a tricky
visit.
one.
Uh-huh.
It's
And
tricky.
there's this bourbon called Henry McKenna. 10-year single barrel.
Which is definitely what it tastes like. I wasn't going to say it, but the cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah.
It does taste like a cash strength Henry McKenna,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing
No, it's
at all.
Henry McKenna is a great bourbon, right? And it has all those notes, all that taste of the Henry McKenna, so it tastes like a cast strength Henry McKenna. I don't know if that's what it is or if it's their own heart, because 7-year, 6-year, they started distilling in 2012, so it might be theirs, might be Henry McKenna, it might be sourced, who knows? You can look up the number of the bottle, the barrel number is 5457, I think I said earlier. So, you can call and look it up and try to figure it out, but they've been pretty tight-lipped on who they get it from, but it would be nice to know if that's an NDP bottle or if it's their actual barrel themselves. It does taste very Henry McKenna-ish.
It does. I mean, this is definitely in my wheelhouse.
Yes.
It's very robust. 118 proof. It kind of has to be.
And if you like Henry McKenna, this is right down your alley.
Yeah.
I mean, right down your alley.
Cash strength Henry McKenna is what it tastes like. Of course, there's a little bit more refinement. I can see why LeNells fell in love with this barrel when she tasted it. It's a very nice drinker. It's something I like to have with a cigar.
It's
Yes.
definitely one of those ones that has an undercover walk, beautiful legs on it. It starts off with that bite of being young, but at the same time, after having it, you know, the finish is very smooth and warm and filling. Definitely taste that cherry and the cask feel to it. It's a good drink.
Yeah, I think you summed it up perfectly. It is a younger bourbon at 7 years, and it is hot immediately.
Yeah.
But then that heat dissipates almost as quickly as it came. So
We definitely got that hug there with it.
nice Kentucky hug.
Ain't that long, but you feel it.
So
And there's
next
nothing
we
wrong with
usually,
having that hug too. You know,
Right.
not everything's got to be as smooth because you're having bourbon.
You know, everybody likes hugs.
Yeah.
Everybody likes hugs.
and that's this is one thing I wanted to mention. I didn't mention it. It does have legs for days. It is thick. It is thick.
Super viscous.
Super viscous. Which
And that's
is
why I
usually
said it was
not
like
Henry
undercover
McKenna.
because
Henry
it doesn't start
McKenna,
with it.
right? Henry McKenna out the bottle is usually not viscous, but they add water to that. This is a cast strength, so this makes it real oily, real viscous. It does have a real viscous feel. I'm gonna pass this down. This is some limestone water.
Yes, and I'm gonna begrudgingly take a drop of water.
Right, there you go.
And while they're passing that,
Five. There you
I'm
go.
just going to show you, like, when you spin it around, if you can kind of see that, it's hugging the sides of the, you know, the glass. So it definitely
Oh.
has a
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
body.
definitely hugging the size of that glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has a beautiful body that definitely is
So,
Here you
is.
go. You want to pass
giving
it
that
down?
passing. Did you take it out?
He took two. Yeah.
One. He's
Sorry.
a stinker. See,
Oddly
he's sneaky
enough-
with the water because he does like the water in his.
Okay, so we put 5 drops in mine,
Right.
and it smells like a honey bun.
Yep, I was gonna say honey, yep.
Mhm.
It smells like a honey bun.
I've done this before. This is the second post with this. So I know that water in it does something good. That's why I added extra water down there.
The very first thing that hit me was honey bun, cinnamon roll. Smells absolutely delicious. The nose definitely improved.
And you'll notice the burn on the back end, that Kentucky hug that you don't like, goes away with a little bit of water.
I love the Kentucky hug.
So,
I love it.
Okay, call it crazy, but like how you called it a honey bun, it kind of makes me think of a pecan waffle.
yeah. Yes, it does. It changes it really good. This is one of the few bourbons that when you add a little bit of limestone water, and it's limestone, it's not regular water, it's limestone water, limestone mixing water. Old limestone, but it does actually make it taste a little better. It does actually open it up a little bit.
It does smooth it out.
Yeah.
It smooths it out. For some of you, that's going to be a great thing. I would not. put water in this.
He likes that burn though.
Yeah.
So if you follow his palate, like a lot of you do,
I do too.
No water
I
yet.
want
no
to be able
water.
to taste
If you
my
follow
drink.
my palate, water.
It's not just that it smooths it out, though. What I find is it drastically improved the nose. But the water stripped away all the character in it that I actually liked to begin with.
Right.
So now it tastes closer to like a Henry McKenna,
Right.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're buying Henry McKenna. But it definitely had a lot more character, much bolder taste. It had a more unique memory.
Let's just sum it up. It shortened the legs.
It's short.
Shorten the legs.
It
yes,
shortened the
it
legs
did.
on it.
It does do that. That is the one bad thing it does. But it does also stop the burn on the back end. So if you don't like burn, like I don't like burn, I would trade the water for what I lose in the legs because I don't get that burn anymore. And I still get the full mouthfeel. I still get the viscous in the mouthfeel. I still get the flavor. The flavor hadn't changed too much, but I lose the burn. And for me, that's key. For some people, they like that burn. I'm just not a fan of burn. There's a lot of people that follow me, a lot of people that follow his taste profile, a lot of people that follow Keith's, a lot of people that follow Leslie's. So, listen to what each of us say, even though we disagree, your profile may be like somebody else's, so.
You gotta have the burn, baby, you gotta have the burn.
Yeah, they love the burn. Right here, these two love the burn. These two guys right here love the burn.
Well, I'm gonna agree with the gentleman in the middle. Like, I like that burn. I like how it's a bite in the beginning, but then it finishes off smooth. You get all those different flavors. Yes, adding the limestone, you got the honey bun and pecan waffle kind of feeling, but I like to have those legs. I like to have that walk in the park. So I want to be able to taste that. So full of flavor. If you want to taste all the different compounds, add a little lime water, but besides that, I'll take it no water, like always.
There you go.
As my prior post show.
Well, that's understandable. Yeah, yeah. You know, so now you know that what water does to it. Because see, what you don't want to do is spend $700 on this bottle, and then put something in the glass you don't want. So depending on who you talk to here, you know, you can say, we'll add a little water. No, I'll just take the burn. I like the burn. I'm not adding water. You know, because now you see the issues that water adds to it. You know what I'm saying? So it gives you an opportunity to decide what you want to do. If you're spending $700 on a bottle, last thing you want to do is screw up a Dramamine. So you drink the way you want to drink it, right?
Exactly.
So this helps you figure that out. So again, there's two things that we do. The first thing we do is say buy it at the bar. It's a good shot to try first. Buy the bottle of it, or a bust. It's a bust. Of course, it's not a bust. And to be honest, I don't think you'll ever find it at a bar because it was a single barrel offering and they were all sold to people through LeNells. So I think you'll only be able to find a bottle of it to buy. That's the problem. And of course, secondary market, if it was retailed at $660 or $700, the secondary market is probably going to be something stupid, just like the the upmark of Red Hook Rye. But I mean, it's a fantastic bourbon. It's it's LeNells pick. So would you buy a bottle of it at at retail? We'll say it's $700, and then we'll secondary. Of course, we don't know what that is yet, so we'll just say at retail, would you buy a bottle? Start here.
So for me, it really comes down to two choices, right? This is a unicorn bottle. The only chance you have to taste it is if you buy a bottle. It is a 7-year bourbon, but it's a 7-year bourbon that was, she did a terrific job picking it out. I love everything about the bourbon. It's a little steep, it's a little out there, but money is made to be spent. I personally wouldn't buy a bottle, but that's because I know Kevin's gonna buy a bottle, so I can come over here and drink it with him.
He knows I'm gonna spend the money. That's all right. He brings cigars, so we're good to go. Everybody's gonna have an equal medium. Keith and Leslie, what do y'all think?
For that, I'm gonna say definitely put it in the 90s all day.
I'm gonna, since Keith's still debating on it, I definitely would say, I would agree, it is a little steep on the pricing, but it does have some great legs. It is a great drinker. I think I wouldn't do the bar because, I think with me already filling the pricing, I imagine what the bar would charge me.
Yeah, it'll be a $200 pour if the bar even has it, right?
So if I was to pick anything, I don't think it's a bust, so I'll have to disagree on that one. But if I was forced to pick up the three, it would be buy a bottle, just lower the low.
Right. That's the only way, a $700 bottle at retail,
But like
in the
John
bar
said,
is going to be a $200 shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's a unicorn too.
Just remember, you only live once. Everybody's got their Christmas money right now, the holiday money. So if you can find one, check it out.
Yeah. And then lastly, we have this nice little schedule for how we would rate it. So of course, 0 to 50 is terrible. You pour it down the drain. You can't even drink it. 60 to 69 is bad. You can't even use it as a mixer. 70 to 79 is drinkable, but usually you use it as a mixer. 80 to 84 is pretty good, but you wouldn't want to necessarily spend that. 85 to 89 is you enjoyed it really well, but it's a really good bottle, but there's a few things you didn't like maybe price, too sweet, alcohol, high burn, something like that, blah blah blah. And then 90 to 95 is an excellent bourbon, something that if you have the chance, you'd love to get a bottle, but you wouldn't mortgage your house for it. And then 96 to 100 is you would pay any damn price for it. It's liquid gold. Price doesn't matter. So that's basically the scale, and we'll start with I guess John. How do you feel about that? What would you rate this?
Well, me, I think this is a solid 91 all day. It's an excellent bourbon. It's a great expression of what to expect in a 7-year bourbon that comes out cask strength. It has that familiarity, whether it actually comes from source juice from Heaven Hill, if it's Henry McKenna, whatever. it's a very familiar taste and one that I particularly enjoy. I love everything about this bourbon, especially the fact that I know Kevin has a bottle. So I have to fork out the cash for it. So I give it about 91.
I can agree with John. I say about 91, 92. I would definitely make the purchase. I just enjoy the taste, just whenever you're tasting, you definitely get that hug. It's crazy because you get three different. It's crazy to say this, but you get three different kicks as it's going down, and that's what I like about it. Is that as long as that burn is there, and that's all that matters. So I would definitely purchase the bottle.
I'm gonna up it just a little. I think it's like a 92, 93. Definitely not mortgaging my house.
Right.
But it definitely hits that buffer, almost making a 93. I think it's a good glass to sip on. Definitely. I know I'm a soft speaker. I'm sorry. I know I get close to the mic, but it's definitely it's a good drink. Definitely 92.5.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, regardless of price, because price is different things to different people.
Right.
But for purely what's in the bottle, I feel like this is a bourbon drinker's bourbon. People that are out there that are bourbon enthusiasts and you really like bourbon, you're going to enjoy this bottle because it has everything that you like about it and none of the stuff that you don't, unless you're Kevin and you don't like the bourbon. Then you put some water in it.
And that's the
But
only
then
reason
that
I gave it
kind
93 on the last one, because of the burn and because of the price a little bit. I gave it a 93, but otherwise I would have rated it way higher. Unfortunately I had to pay the price for it, and the burn is, the only thing that is, that hurts. We'll see about the 15 year. Hopefully, that will have taken care of that burn, but on 15 year. But the biggest thing for me is that burn and the high price value, because I was the one who forked out the cash for it, so my pocket feels it. But but other than that, that's why I rated it 93 on the last post, was because other than that it would have been a 96, 95.
But look on the bright side, man.
Yeah.
Money's just money. You
Right,
spend
money's
something.
money. I'm gonna
Spend it
spend it here, right? Yeah, might as well spend it on what I love, right? So.
Well, I would say if you kind of lean close to Kevin's palate, being that he doesn't like the burn, it's kind of a little in your hand, because if you add a little bit of the lime water, it is stretching out the volume size of the bottle because it's not going as fast.
And that was exactly what I said.
So that kind of semi cuts down the pricing if you have a palate that relates to Kevin's. So that's definitely an upper hand.
I can make it last because of the fact that I do want to add water to it. Water to it made it fun for me. I didn't mind, the water. It actually stopped the burn, which is the biggest part that I don't like, is the burn, the Kentucky hug behind it. But the water, definitely I can add water to it and keep it. I'll probably gas it too and put some argon gas to it eventually, so that I can keep the good flavor but take care of the burn, take the burn out of it. Yeah. So that would be my recommendation. All right, guys. We're looking at 23 minutes, so that was our post for the Willett LeNells pick. LeNells, shouts out to her. She did a wonderful pick, and please remember us in the future when you do more picks. We'd love to review your bottles, and maybe you can send us some samples.
We'd love some samples.
Right, we love samples. Right,
Leave some comments. Let us know what you think. You got questions? We'd love to add replies back to them. So just let us know.
Thank you guys so much. Oh, and thank you to we did get a reply back from from one of the distillers. Joseph Magnus from Miss Faye. Yes. She immediately after we did the post commented back on that Joseph Magnus, and it was great. We got great information from her, and she said she would love to give us a call. So we've got somebody we can talk to now, and she loved
to
the
talk to
fact that we talked about the Joseph Magnus cigar bourbon. So, and that was in his Spotted trilogy, so we did that. So we'll do it again with all y'all too, because some of the people we had there were from Birmingham, but we'll do another one with the people here from Atlanta. So shouts out to Miss Faye, and thank you so much. And it was wonderful tasting your bourbon too as well. All right, guys. As always, drink more bourbon, guys.
Salute.
Salute.